Everyone, in this video we are talking about the Lionsgate portal that is open right now. But don't forget, Sirius comes to play, as well as Chiron and Orion's belt. Don't forget to stick around to the end because of course we've got practices for you. Now, let's get right to it because there's always lots to cover.
3, 2, 1.
Hey everyone. Okay, so first off, did you feel that? The energy lately is just off the chain. Let's just leave it at that. Okay, there's a lot to get through for this Lionsgate portal because it's not just Lionsgate portal this time around. There's more to it. So I've got lots of notes to get through. Don't forget to stick around to the end because of course we've got practices to help us along and to help us harness this energy. But also there's a bit of caution, so make sure you stick around to the end. All right, let's get to it. So first off, before I get into the technical stuff about planets and placements and what's actually coming into play right now, where the sun is, where the moon is, and so on and all those things, because there's multiple lineups and they actually are having an effect right now, okay? But first I want to talk about something. It was posted by someone else, and so I'm going to do another video about this, and I will absolutely give the reposter and the original poster credit because it was really it's apropos to the energy right now, number one. Number two, so very well put. I was really impressed and I loved it. So anyways, what I will say and what I want to bring notice to is about trauma and anyone who has been through any kind of trauma. So I'm not sure where that cut off, but that's okay. Trauma programming and old beliefs can make us feel like our path has already been decided for us, and that's really not the case. We have to get out of the victim mindset of this is happening to me and look at things as they're happening for me. Yeah, and I know what you're thinking. Dude, I didn't choose to be assaulted. Dude, I didn't choose for this car accident. No, but it was presented to you. It came up for you for a reason. You've got to figure that out. The other thing is our perspective matters. So if your perspective is, well, everything's happening to me, it's going to keep happening to you. You got to flip the switch. It's happening for you. Why? Why is this coming up for me? What is this showing me? What is this here to teach me? So let's get to Lionsgate. There's a lot to cover. Hey, bear with me. I probably should have grabbed a tripod, but I didn't. So we're just going to wing it because we've got stuff to do. We've got things coming up and we got work to do. So that's another thing that they want me to point out. Discipline is important. And if you want your life to change, what's your discipline? What's your discipline? Because you're the only one that can bring in the change. Everybody's waiting for my manifestations to come in. But are your manifestations going to come in because you're doing what you should be doing, or are they going to take longer? We're at a high-speed rail. That's what the Lionsgate portal is. So if you want those manifestations to come through and quickly, make sure you're doing all the parts. Okay, so let's get right to it. Your words, your thoughts, your emotions, your rituals, all of these things matter, but only if they're present, intentional, and aligned. That's the only way this stuff works. Okay, so you might be experiencing some vivid dreams or more alignment than normal, synchronicities lining up, but you also might be noticing a lot of other things coming up, like things to trigger you, so to speak, or test you, if that's how you want to call it. There's a reason for this. So this Lionsgate portal is super special because not only is the sun in Leo for Lionsgate portal, obviously, hence the Lionsgate, but this is lining up with Sirius. Now, for those of you who don't know, Sirius is actually twice the mass of our sun and 20 times brighter. So think of the light codes coming in, right? Now it's also actually lining up with 3 of the brightest stars in Orion, known as Alnitak, Alnilam, and Mintaka. I hope I said those correctly, and my apologies if I didn't. Sirius is considered our spiritual sun, and many cultures have revered it. During this Lionsgate, we've also got Mercury in retrograde. And remember I was talking about that push and pull? This is why. That push forward, that propelling forward is the Lionsgate portal, that confidence, that Leo confidence coming through. But Mercury is pulling us back a little bit into the past. Your past patterns Any unfinished lessons, you're going to notice them coming up right now. And that's partly because we've got Mercury in retrograde. But not only do we have Mercury in retrograde, no, we're going to add more. Let's add in Chiron. Now, Chiron, the wounded healer, this Lion's Gate is also coinciding with its retrograde. Now, Chiron is actually a Centurion comet that symbolizes our wounded healer. So Chiron orbits between Saturn and Uranus. So we're really being asked what is coming up for us right now. What needs to be healed, what needs to be let go of, what needs to be dropped and left in the past. What is rooted in the old paradigms and the lower frequency emotions or lower frequency patterns are being revealed so that we can clear them. But you need to remain grounded and neutral as they come up. Remember, this portal is a major acceleration. So whatever you are reacting to or responding to and how you are reacting and responding is what you are manifesting. We're being called to seek out our inner alignment and recalibrate it closer to who we truly are. Now, the other thing I want to mention is this Mercury retrograde during this Lionsgate portal happens once every 88 years. Yeah, you heard that right. 88 years. So think of it. We're at the 8-8 portal, August 8th, and Mercury in retrograde. We are at full power for Lionsgate right on the 8th, and Mercury retrograde during that happens once every 88 years. It's almost as if the universe planned this somehow. Imagine that. So again, let's go back to the duality. We've got the push forward, that confidence, that future energy, but also the pull of that past and the patterns coming back. You might even notice people from your past coming back in, but be mindful of that because it's not always for your highest timeline. Ancient Egyptians believed Sirius to be the celestial home of the goddess Isis, and she was very much a divine symbol of magic and intuition, as well as femininity and rebirth. So what ideas are you birthing? When we fall into our feminine, that's when we're allowing. So what are you allowing to come through for you now? What intuitions are coming up? That sun energy is bringing in the consciousness, the masculine, where Sirius is the subconscious and the feminine. That duality, right? That polarity between the dark and the light, that balance. All of this is coming up. So what are you creating? And what are you clearing? Lionsgate's asking you, what are you manifesting? Retrograde is asking, what are you healing? And what are you clearing? So really feel into your body right now. What is coming up for you physically? What is coming up for you emotionally? Chiron in retrograde is really asking about the relationship with yourself as well as the relationship with the world. And don't forget, as within, so without. So the more you know yourself within, the more you're going to know the world outside of you. Just as the same as the more you know self, the more you're going to know God or the divine. Really pay attention to what limiting beliefs or patterns are coming up for you, because the world is going to continue to mirror this more and more and more. And if you're not releasing those things, you're just going to repeat them. You're going to see those things around you again and again. So we're really being called to elevate our understanding of reality here. Another really talented reader, astrologer, I'm not sure actually offhand what she goes by. Her name is Sarah Hall. She raised some really good points in something that she had put out, and so I'm going to touch on them a little bit as well, because she pointed something out and I loved the way she had verbalized it, which was, there's a lot of people that are experiencing a lot of different things. I've already mentioned it, any emotional sensitivity, dreams, or troubled sleep or appetites being issued. We've talked about this in the last few videos as well, the synchronicities coming up. But what she also brought up was other people's emotions. Yeah, absolutely. As empaths, we're always doing that, but there's an uptick in it right now, as well as seeing or hearing visions. But there's also spiritual vibrations, which was something that I hadn't even mentioned and hadn't really given voice to, as well as musical notes coming through from that spiritual realm. I mean, how amazing is that? But what she pointed out, which I thought was really great, was that you do not need to be consciously aware for these vibrations to have an effect. Okay? And the way she likened it was to a dog whistle. You can't hear a dog whistle. You may or may not be able to feel the vibration of it very, very briefly if you're close enough to it, but you can't hear that pitch. You're not meant to. It doesn't mean it's not still having an effect. It doesn't mean part of you doesn't pick it up. Even though you can't hear it, you know it's still having an effect. And that's kind of like Lionsgate. Lionsgate meets you where you are. So don't be discouraged if you're not having all of these symptoms, or any of them for that matter. That's okay. You're still getting an upgrade, whether you like it or not. Again, this is an acceleration, so be sure to stay grounded. Your intentions are going to be amplified. That's why manifestation can be as powerful as it is right now, because intentions and energies are amplified. But just as the positive, so can the so-called negative. So just be aware. This is about your individuality as well as your oneness with divine. Staying in the state of love and bliss and allowing will help keep you open to what is truly possible, and will show you what's truly not in alignment. All right, let's get to the practices. Practice number 1, super important right now, gratitudes. Okay, so when you get up first thing in the morning is a perfect time to do it. You should be doing gratitudes first thing in the morning anyway, if you can. But super, super important right now that you are doing gratitudes. So make a list of 10, 20, 30, if you can, 88 things that you are truly grateful for. Can you imagine how great that would be? 88? Oh, that's awesome. But start with 10, and create 10 over the next 8 days until you get to until we get to the peak of the Lionsgate portal. They can be your basic fundamentals too. Those are important. Your bed, the food that you eat, the air that we breathe, the trees giving us this beautiful shade, the chair I'm seated on, everything, anything, the sun, the stars, the celestial bodies, all of it. What are you truly grateful for? And as you're doing this, really feel the gratitude for it, because that really grounds your energy and will prepare you for practice number 2, which is setting your intentions. Look, this is a manifestation portal. Why not set intentions for manifestation? So what do you want to manifest? What do you want to bring in? And I want you to write it out in the present tense. I am so happy for this. I am so grateful for this. I am so glad that this, and this is going on, that I have this, that I'm finally at peace, that I'm soaring through the sky on the airplane flying above me right now, that I have the ability to travel, that my mortgage is finally paid off, whatever it is, that I'm surrounded by abundance. Well, realistically, we're always surrounded by abundance. We just have to train ourselves to see that. Practice number 3, breath work. Of course, we're going to do some breath work and meditation. Breath work is key because it brings you to center. And this is what this is all about. We need to get quiet right now and really go within to hear that inner voice, that soul speaking to us, your own intuition. What is it saying? So get quiet. And I'm going to suggest that you do that in the sunshine, because that's what this is all about. Finally, do some candle meditation or fire breath. Something to do with fire. If you can have a bonfire, and if you can't, light a candle. But sit with it and do some open eye meditation, which is simply just having no other thoughts and staring only at that point. All right, everyone, that was a lot. So if you're new here and you're still here, thanks for coming in. And if you've been here before and you're still here, thanks for coming back. Hope that helped. And happy Lionsgate portal. And as always, if you've liked the content you've seen today, please like and subscribe and leave me a comment. Let me know what hit for you, what didn't hit for you, what are your practices,